So I'm driving home for the first time in a long time without FSD. It's unfortunate. As you can see, it says here adaptive headlight features are unavailable. FSD is also gone. The push to start FSD is gone. I also can't view any of my cameras when I go to my camera display in service. Now you can't do that anyway when the car is driving, but when the car is parked, you can usually do a camera preview. I can't even do a camera preview when the car is parked. So I'm not exactly sure what happened. It could be a camera calibration issue or something. I was originally looking at my cameras through the app when I was in my office, and then an hour or so later it said Sentry Mode is unavailable, and it shut off. And so I don't know if there was something to do with that. Maybe there's an issue with the cameras and they have to recalibrate. That's a possibility. I'm not really sure exactly what the issue is. It even says Park Assist unavailable. So I'm driving home for the first time in a long time without FSD. It's unfortunate, but when I get home, I'm going to try and do a hard reset. I've already tried a soft reboot where you push down the two scroll wheels on the steering wheel and hold them for a few seconds, and then it reboots. That didn't work. I've already tried that, so when I get home, I'm going to try a hard reboot. So I was at work, sitting at my desk, and I had this error. Sentry Mode is turned off due to a Sentry system error. And so I went out to my car, and I was kind of checking things out, and I selected camera preview, and nothing would pull up in the camera preview. It was just a black screen. So I tried a soft reset, which the soft reset you do is you push the two scroll wheel buttons in and hold it for 15 seconds, and then the car reboots, and then everything should come back. Well, that didn't work. So I looked up a few things online. A couple things I found was, well, maybe the cameras needed to calibrate, and if you drive it for 10 to 20 minutes, then it will calibrate. That didn't work. I drove it all the way home, about 30 minutes, nothing happened. So anyway, when I got home, I went in the house for a minute, and I grabbed my other camera, and I came back out, and I noticed the start self-driving button is back on the screen, but it's not dark, it's light. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. If I give it a destination, let's just say, give it a destination, it does not darken the start self-driving. If I push it, nothing happens. Let me try and put my seatbelt on. Brake. Nothing happens with it. It was completely gone. It's back now. The cameras still don't work. So I'm not sure. I think I'm just going to go and try a hard reset, which requires you to put your foot on the brake and push both scroll wheels in at the same time and hold for 15 seconds, then release, and then it should do a hard reboot. I've never done one of those. I have done the soft reboot, so this will be the first hard reboot I do. I don't exactly know what's going to happen here. Maybe it's just a software issue, I'm not sure. The adaptive headlight feature is unavailable. and it pulls up here on the alerts and says that's unavailable. Self-park feature was also not available. So a lot of things are just offline. And so I'm going to try this with a hard reboot. We'll see what happens, and hopefully it goes well. Well, it looks like the hard reboot did not work. So my next option would be to do a full power down reset. I've never done one of those either, but I'm going to give that a try. So I go to controls, and let's see, safety. Power off. And you're supposed to wait for 2 to 3 minutes and then press the brake to wake the car up. Now I wait 2 to 3 minutes and hope for the best. Okay, it's been a little over 3 minutes. Now I'm going to press the brake and hold it. Okay, so the car's coming back online. Still doesn't look like the FSD button is back. It is still gone. So self-driving. Here we go. It's all good. So it looks like I'm possibly headed to the service station to figure out exactly what's going on with the car. What's interesting is if I put it in reverse, I get the cameras. I can hit this and I get the front cameras, and all the cameras seem to work there. So I'm not sure. Go back here. Dash cam. All the cameras seem to work in dash cam. So I'm not really sure what's going on. I'll probably end up at the service station, and I will let you know what I find out. So after I did the last power down reboot and gave up, I pulled the car back in the garage, plugged it in, went in the house, and just figured I'd deal with it later. And then after probably 45 minutes roughly, I got a notification from my Tesla app that said the Sentry Mode was back online. And so out of curiosity, I went back out to the garage and looked at the car to see what was going on. And the start self-driving button, the blue button, was very faint, but it was back. And so I was wondering, well, maybe it's working again. So I pulled the car out of the garage, set a destination, and pushed the button, and the button disappeared, and everything went away again. So I thought I had it, and so I gave up, pulled it back in the garage, and plugged it back in, and went back in the house. I had a trip later on that evening I had to make, and so I thought, well, I'll just drive it manually. Went back out to the garage, got in the car, and everything was back. And so I did a test to see if FSD was working. It was. I put a destination in. I pushed start self-driving, and it took off and did fine. And even later that evening, it drove fine and avoided a deer. So everything is back and everything is working. Now, what I think happened was the driver assistance system, or what Tesla calls the DAS system. I think when I was messing around in Sentry Mode in my office, I think I just caused some sort of software stack issue or something, and it maybe just all that information trying to search through those cameras on the app, and it just locked up the cameras. The cameras still worked in Sentry Mode. They still worked in the dash cam. It's just nothing was working for FSD, so it took FSD offline because it must not have trusted what it was seeing. That's the only thing I can guess. And all the reboots, I think the first soft reboot might have actually solved it, or even the hard reboot might have solved it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I had to do all of that. I think because you have to give it time to come back. And from what I was learning online, you do have to be patient, and I wasn't. You have to be patient, and you should plug the car in and let the system come back after the reboot, so it can basically just check everything out, reinitialize everything, make sure it's working right, and I think I just didn't give it enough time to do that. Now, do I think it would have come back without the reboots? I'm not sure. The reboots weren't really a problem. It's easy to do, and I think it was a good idea. I've never done the hard reboot or the power down reboot, so that was new, and I'm glad I've done that now. And I'm also happy that I learned that don't mess around too much in Sentry Mode with the cameras. You may lock up your cameras for a while and then everything not work. But everything came back fine. The car handled great on the trip that I had to do at night. So I'm back in full self-driving mode, and that is wonderful because I just don't like driving anymore. So I hope this video was helpful. If you ever have an issue where you get a Sentry Mode error or maybe another error dealing with your cameras, you could possibly try that sequence that I just tried, and maybe just mark this video in case that happens to you. But if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I appreciate it. Thank you.